teacher talking sports, what it does, what it do, how we live. And of course, the question on every football fan's mind after the NFL draft is, well, how did Mel Kiper Jr. think my team did in the draft? Well, maybe not. That's not the question for everyone. But in this video, I'm going to take a look at the teams he believed had the best draft in 2023. He wrote the article last night. I'm not going to share it because it's ESPN Plus, but I'll go over the four teams that he gave at least an A minus to. Now, if Mel Kiper Jr. was a teacher such as myself, the students would probably love him because he's not looking to fail anyone. As a matter of fact, the lowest grade he gave was a B minus. But again, 28 teams getting anywhere from a B plus to a B minus. So maybe if you're the Lisa Simpson type, you won't be fond because you might not get an A. But let's get into it. His four best drafts. I'll name the four worst at the end as well. Starting with the Philadelphia Eagles, who got an A. Man, the rich get richer. The Eagles took two Georgia defenders in last season's draft in Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean. This year, they won up it by taking three, including their first two picks of Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith. Kaylee Ringo, who some saw as a first round pick heading into the college season, wasn't the greatest 2022, but nonetheless definitely has the potential to be a key piece on Eagles defensive teams. That Tanner McKee can be a solid backup behind Jalen Hurts, but Jalen Carter, some people had him as the top overall prospect. Yes, we know of his off the field issues. Seemingly wasn't in the best of shape at the combine. There was a report that his coaches weren't too fond of him, but the Eagles believe they have the infrastructure for him to succeed. And, if he does reach his full potential, man, that's going to be scary for other teams in the NFC. His other grade of an A is the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle Seahawks had a bunch of picks. They actually had 10 picks in the draft. So their first round pick was Devin Witherspoon, fifth overall. Some might thought that was a little early, but many people did have him as the top ranked cornerback. Other than some may have had Christian Gonzalez, who actually didn't go till 17 to New England. But the Seahawks, now they got a 1-2 punch of Tariq Woolen and Devin Witherspoon. Definitely could be one of the best cornerback combos for years to come. And the number one first wide receiver taken, which started a four wide receivers in a row taken, but Smith-Njigba was the first out of Ohio State. Of course, had an incredible 2021 season. Unfortunately, was injured much of last season, but produced majorly, even with Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave on the team in 2021. The Seahawks have seemingly been looking for a wide receiver three for, I don't know, quite some time behind DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. Smith-Njigba should be that guy. Let me just go down so you can see the other picks. The Jack Charbonnet pick, I didn't really understand much because it was just last year that they also took a running back in the second round, that being Kenneth Walker. And, Walker had an awesome rookie season. I believe he finished second in Offensive Rookie of the Year voting. Yes, they do need to replace Rashad Penny, but Rashad Penny was mostly hurt in his time with the Seahawks. So I guess Charbonnet is a decent choice as a backup running back, but I think they could have filled a different hole with that second round pick. And I also forgot to mention for the Eagles, not only did they have those draft picks, but they traded for DeAndre Swift. Again, rich get richer. Yes, they lost Miles Sanders, but added Penny, who, if he were to stay healthy, is dynamic. And if not, you got DeAndre Swift and still have returning Kenneth Gainwell and Boston Scott. Anyhow, Arizona Cardinals, they were given an A minus. Their first pick was offensive tackle Paris Johnson Jr., also out of Ohio State, guy that can protect Kyler Murray's blind side. So a good pick for the Cardinals, who honestly came into the draft maybe with the least talent in the NFL. We're in dire need of a pass rusher with J.J. Watt retiring and Zach Allen leaving. They got one in the second round in B.J. Ojolari. Also, Clayton Tune in the fifth round is interesting. Not sure. We're not sure if Kyler Murray will be ready week one. Could Clayton Tune, coming out of Houston, be able to earn that job in week one over Colt McCoy? We will see. And the other team he gave an A minus to, my favorite team, the New York Giants, starting with Deontay Banks at quarterback. Went up one spot to get him. Wonder if they were going to take a wide receiver, if they were thinking about it. But again, picks 20 through 23 were all wide receivers. So again, wide receiver and cornerback were probably their two biggest positions in need. Adoree Jackson. Adoree Jackson is a free agent after the season. They need that cornerback too. Also needed was a center, and they got some people's top ranked center in John Michael Schmitz. He was actually the second center taken behind Titman of who was taken by the Jets, but a good pick there. Jalen Hyatt, the reigning Fred Belentikov Award winner as the nation's top wide receiver. Love that pick for the Giants. And Eric Gray, good running back for Oklahoma. Giants, of course, Saquon Barkley is probably going to play on the franchise tag. Still time to sign to an extension, but Matt Breida is signed for just one more season. So they needed a backup running back and potentially a back if Saquon Barkley were to move on after the season. So those are the top four graded teams in the NFL. So 24 teams either received a B plus or a B. Let's go over his let's quickly name his four B minuses. Let me scroll down and find them. So B minus, he gave the Atlanta Falcons a B minus. Of course, taking Bijan Robinson 8th overall. Many people believe taking a running back that early is crazy. Even a one that might seems like he may be transcendent in Bijan Robinson. And Tyler Algier had an awesome rookie season for the Falcons last season. The Raiders were given a B minus, took Tyree Wilson in the first round. I didn't mind that. And Michael Mayer, some people's top ranked tight end heading into the draft. Saints were given a B minus, and the 49ers a B minus, taking a kicker in the third round. Probably didn't help his grade. Yes, they need a kicker with Robbie Gould likely moving on, but still. And if you're wondering who he had as his top grades in last year's draft, so in last year's draft, he gave the Baltimore Ravens an A, took Kyle Hamilton 14th overall, Tyler Linderbaum 25th overall. The New York Jets were given an A, have no problem with that. Sauce Gardner was awesome. Also took Garrett Wilson, Jermaine Johnson the second. Those are the only two teams he gave A's. He didn't even give an A minus to anyone. But unlike this year, he also gave some C pluses. He gave scrolling down Dallas Cowboys a C plus. Tyler Smith had a very good rookie year. Jalen Tolbert didn't do much as a rookie receiver though, and the New England Patriots he also gave a C plus. They made Tyquan Thornton pick in the second round, who didn't do much, and Cole Strange was a shocking first round pick. But there you have it. Those are the teams Mel Kiper believes will had the best and worst drafts. Of course, in a way, it's kind of silly to project how teams' drafts are literally a day after the draft is over. Usually you need to see it for a few years, but still a fun exercise. And, I do enjoy Mel Kiper's work, even if he's often scrutinized. Yes, he's going to get some picks wrong. Yes, sometimes he's way off, but keep in mind he's on TV. Sometimes he's got to be a little more demonstrative, because it's TV and you want to be entertaining. But there you have it. Don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.